is going on? Combat Casual back again. Gonna talk a little bit of UFC like we do every single damn week around here. UFC returns to Abu Dhabi in your main event. Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker will take on the Dutch Knight, Reinier de Ridder. Just quickly browsing over the card a few seconds ago. The card looks pretty damn good. Big Ank, what's going on? I see you in the chat. It says Peter Yan fight week, damn straight. And you know I hate that guy because he stole my girlfriend. But anyway, yeah, man. Event looks good. Glad to see. UFC always brings a good card to Abu Dhabi. Some good names. Former champions on the card, all that stuff. When's the debate? Good question. I already asked when the debate will be. So, but yeah, man. I usually do picks, like a picks live stream. And that's what this will be, but I kind of want to keep it more like event centric. So we'll kind of talk about all of the fights on the card like we always do. And we will be making picks, but I will be trying to come out with a separate picks video, like a shorter video. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? The first match on the card looks super interesting to me because you have Marcus Buchecha making his UFC debut. Buchecha was a guy who fought in one championship previously. And I think he's going to inject some life into the heavyweight division, the lifeless heavyweight division. Marcus Buchecha is a very decorated grappler. I think he's won the ADCC, the Mundials. So he's a super accomplished grappler, one of the best in the world at his peak. You can see here, like, he does have a knockout, but he's mostly known for getting subs. He did lose to the current one championship heavyweight champion, Umar Kane, also known as isn't his name? No, it's Rug. Yeah. He last submitted Amir Ali Akbari 8 months ago, which is a pretty damn good win. He will be taking on Martin Buday. Martin Buday is 4-1 in his last 5. His only loss is a KO loss to Shamil Gaziev. He's beaten, like, Jay Collier is a decent win, but Josh Parisian, Arlovsky, well past it, Arlovsky, and then a guy that I don't even know if it is in the UFC. He fought 3 months ago. He is plus 170 as the underdog. Buchecha minus 200 as the favorite. I think that Martin Buday is just kind of a fat heavyweight. Never been super impressed with him. Marcus Buchecha, on the other hand, I have been impressed with. And though his fight with Rug was not very, good, I still have really high hopes for him. I think he will get a submission win in this fight. The only thing about Buchecha that worries me is he does not have a great gas tank. He's a giant dude, super muscled up. And Martin Buday has shown that he can go the distance and get a win against decent opponents. So I think that's the only real worry here for Buchecha, is seeing how he lasts and the UFC bright lights, how they affect him. I think this is a pretty easy match, though, man, for Buchecha. All he's got to do is get that takedown, and it's a wrap. Like Peter Yan, or not Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling said, once I get the back, it's a wrap. Marcus needs to win for heavyweight's sake. I totally agree, and I think that's kind of why they're giving him a guy like Martin Buday, fat heavyweight, and you can see, like, most of Tapology is picking him to win by submission. I will be one of those guys. I'm going to pick him to win by submission as well. I think he gets it done very quickly as well inside of the first round. But again, we'll have to see what happens if he's not able to successfully take down Buday and if he can last the distance. I think he could. I think he's pretty much a lock. But we have to see. I think even if he gets a quick submission over Buday, like, I'm still not sure how he fares at the top of the heavyweight division. We'll have to see. Again, losing to Rug is, like, in hindsight, not that big a deal. But I also don't think Rug is like super great either. So I think that he could clear his way to the top 10 fairly easy, but we'll have to see what happens when he, starts taking on some of those top 5 guys. The next fight is Muhammad Yahya versus Stephen Wynn. This is taking place at featherweight. Muhammad Yahya, his nickname is the UAE Warrior. He's taking on the Ninja, Stephen Wynn. He is 12-5. Muhammad Yahya was I'm guessing the UAE Warriors champion 2 years ago. But he has been looking like trash. And honestly, his opponents have been trash too. He's 31-5-9. Stephen Wynn, on the other hand, just lost a decision a year and 3 months ago to Jarno Aarons. He knocked out AJ Cunningham to get in the organization. Before that, he was fighting in LFA. He's had 3 stints on Contender Series. One was a loss, one was a decision win, and then he finally got that knockout win over AJ Cunningham, who is, in my opinion, better than Muhammad Yahya. I know that Muhammad Yahya did get a TKO over Cali Fernandez, but Cali Fernandez is pretty damn good. He's pretty damn terrible as well. The one thing, I'm going to pick Stephen Wynn in this fight. I think he could probably even get a knockout. I do like the fact that he is training with Saif Saud out of Fortis MMA there in Texas. He's a fantastic coach. The thing is that he is 32. So yeah, I do think that this is kind of a setup, right? Like they're trying to get Muhammad Yahya a win. He's fought in, I think, every Abu Dhabi card for the last couple of years. So yeah, I think that this is a weird one. I'm going to pick Stephen Wynn, tentatively to win by decision. But, and I know that everybody always goes, oh, well, it's in Abu Dhabi. The judges are going to be rigged. You know what I'm saying? And I think that there is some merit to that. But I also just think that this guy, Muhammad Yahya, is just really bad. Like really, really bad. Also, we got knocked out, by Cali Fernandez, who I think is terrible. I think I said he got a win over him. No, he got knocked out by him. So they've been trying to set this guy up for a win, and it's not working out. It's not working out. Good to see Showother. This is a loser gets cut fight. I sure hope so. Did you shave for the debate? No, man. It's just, got to harvest the crop once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on. Good to see Leandro and Showother in the chat. Ibo Aslan is going to take on Billy Elikana at light heavyweight. Ibo Aslan, 14-2. He is 4-1 in his last 5. This guy was just on a tear, knocking out this bum and that bum and whatever bum you want. He did knock out the Pleasure Man, which is good. I hate that guy because he's a weirdo. And Anton Turkali. He last lost to Ion Kutalaba 4 months ago in a fight he was heavily, heavily favored in. He is minus 280 as the favorite here. He is 29. He is taking on Billy Elikana. If I remember correctly, he came in on short notice to fight Bogdan Guskov, and he got subbed pretty damn quick. So they said, all right, Billy, thanks for the favor. We'll have you take on a prospect in Abu Dhabi. And I think, if I remember this fight correctly, 6 months ago, Billy Elikana was actually doing some things right before eventually getting subbed by Bogdan Guskov. I still think that happened fairly quickly. Let me actually take a look. Don't want to get anything wrong. That's right. That fight did go into the second round. I think he had a decent first round, lost it, but still did some things right, like I said. The thing about Ibo Aslan is I think that he just has had bad competition. Now, the 7-2 Billy Elikana, who fought in lights out in the PFL and had decision wins, losing decisions in LFA, I don't think is very good. I'm going to take Ibo to win this fight. I think he will win it by knockout, and I'm going to pick him by second round knockout. harvest the crop. That can be applied to other things. Like what? I have no idea. Honestly, the fact that I'm even debating a flat earther is laughable. I know Melson owns that trailer park Gummy Gang resides in. Really? I did not know that. I didn't know that he was a real estate guy. All right, next up is Amanda Hebos versus Tabitha Ricci. That's strawweight. Amanda Hebos is 12-6. She is minus 145 as the favorite. She is 2-3 in her last 5 on a 2-fight losing streak. 31 years old. 5'3", 66-inch reach. Tabitha Ricci 11-3, 3-2 in her last 5 plus 120. This is a near even on the odds. 30 years old. 5'1" and 61-inch reach. It's an interesting fight. I actually like this fight a lot. Tabitha Ricci was on a roll in LFA, and then she got in the UFC, and she hit a couple stumbling blocks, losing to Jillian Robertson. Split decision win over Lupita Godinez. I thought that she actually lost that fight. Got a split decision win over Tisha Pennington, another very close fight. Beat Angela Hill. And then lost a decision to Yan Zhaonan. On the other side, Amanda Hebos, in her last 5 fights, beat Vivian Araújo, lost to Macy Barber via TKO, knocked out Luana Pinheiro. Decision loss to Rose, and got subbed by Dern 6 months ago. Amanda Hebos, Tabitha Ricci, and Mackenzie Dern all have very similar games to me. Pretty damn good on the ground. Not super effective on the feet. I think Amanda Hebos is better on the feet than Tabitha Ricci. She's also going to be a little bit bigger. I don't know. To me, this is a pretty clear-cut win for Amanda Hebos. The thing is that she has had some fights where, like, you got to remember, like, she was kind of climbing up the rankings and looking like a fun prospect until she took that loss to Macy Barber, Rose, and Dern. And I feel like Ricci is in a similar situation, right? Like she just can't. Neither of these girls can get over the hump of strawweight contendership. The thing is I just think that Amanda Hebos has looked better against better opponents. She's got a little bit more, pep in her shots, and I do feel pretty confident about picking Amanda Hebos to win this fight. I think this will definitely be going to decision. I will pick Amanda Hebos via decision. Again, has the jiu-jitsu to match, and just a little bit more power on the feet. A little bit more dynamic on the feet. The thing about Tabitha Ricci is she has really good blitzes. She can come in and pressure a girl, get her up against the cage, So, yeah, that's pretty much this fight will be won or lost by either woman in the clinch. Good to see Aaron Tatz. I'm going to be... shitting my pants during the Peter Yan fight, one of my favorite fighters. Same here, dude. Same here. I'm always anxious when he fights. Well, actually, I have my favorite fighter is Robert Whittaker, and he's fighting in the main event. So, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The thing that sucks about watching a Bobby Knuckles fight is the guy's kind of chinny at this point, and yeah, that's what makes me super, super nervous every time he fights. Let's move on. Damone Blackshear will take on Davey Grant. Damone Blackshear on a 3-fight winning streak. He is 17-7 and 1. Minus 245 is the favorite, 30 years old. Davey Grant, 14-7, 3-2 in his last 5, plus 205 as the dog. Almost 40 years old, 39. 5'8" and 69-inch reach for Davey Grant. So Damone Blackshear a bit taller, and a bit of a reach advantage. The thing about Davey Grant is we always go like, oh, he's 39 at bantamweight. He's going to lose. Like, he's getting too old. He's washed. But that motherfucker keeps showing up to fight and keeps getting wins. I mean, Asuncao and Marcos was a close fight. Some people thought he won. And then Tavares, I think, was the same thing, right? Like, well, no, he did win. Sorry, Jesus Christ. But yeah, you're just like, fuck. Davey Grant keeps fucking winning. Damone Blackshear has been super active as of late, something that Davey Grant cannot say for himself. His last 2 losses were to Montel Jackson. He got knocked out super quick by Jackson. And then Bautista, he lost the decision. Since then, 3-fight winning streak to Cody Stamann, Cody Gibson, and Alatong Haley. I think that out of those 3 opponents, Davey Grant is the more dangerous. Davey Grant puts on an immense pace and pressure on dudes. But we did see in Damone Blackshear's last win against Alatong Haley that he kind of just threw hands with dude, right? Try to show off some new techniques in his stand-up game. I don't think that it was all super effective, but Damone Blackshear put a lot of pressure on Alatong Haley in that fight. So I like this fight a lot. I think that if it does go to the ground, we know who is the better grappler. It's going to be Damone Blackshear for sure. I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a competitive, very fun fight, and I think it's going to mostly take place on the feet. If you do see Damone Blackshear shooting for takedowns, that means he's losing the stand-up battle. And I don't know, man. Davey Grant, he's got really good ground game, right? Defensively. So this is a tough one for me, man. I think that I'm definitely gonna pick Blackshear, but I'm not gonna count Davey out entirely. I think that you'll see it go to decision, and whoever wins, it'll be a 29-28 decision, possible split. But yeah, the thing about Damone Blackshear is that, obviously he's on a 3-fight winning streak, but they're not against very good guys. Davey Grant, at this point, man, he's fought everybody. But he's moving into more of a prospect, journeyman gatekeeper type role. I think that Damone Blackshear is a little bit above that level, right? Like, he's definitely proved himself in the UFC to be a formidable foe. I think that you can't count Davey out entirely in this fight, but I am going to pick Damone Blackshear via close decision. Yeah, true. I think RDR is going to be too slow for him, and he's very open when he tries to get a collar tie. Blackshear is underrated. Well, he needs to win against somebody good. Again, Alatong Haley, Cody Stamann, and who is the other fucking guy that he beat? Cody Gibson. Like, those guys are not that good. So you say he's underrated, but it's like he hasn't proven to me that he should be rated higher. I think he's actually rated fairly accurately. We'll see what happens in this Davey Grant fight. But even if he were to, I think if he were to sub Davey Grant like pretty quick, we'd have to reevaluate where he's at exactly. But that's for the hardcores. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that like casual fans will be like, they'll be like, you beat 39-year-old bantamweight. Who cares? I mean, he went to a close fight with Mario on short notice. I think that Mario Bautista, if anyone's underrated, it's him. Since then, what has he done? He hasn't really he's put a 3-fight win streak together, but against who? Washed up Cody Stamann, who they brought back in the UFC to fight Damone Blackshear. Cody Gibson. Cody Stamann, who can't buy a win in the UFC, and then Alatong Haley, who is exactly the same. Like, come on, man. I think it is impressive that he's known as mostly a grappler, and then he did have a 6 stand-up fight with Alatong Haley, who was very tough. Hey, what's up, Andrew? How you doing? Okay. Next fight is Muslim Salikov versus Carlos Leal. This is taking place at welterweight. Salikov 21-5, won 3 out of his last 5 fights. 41 years old now, 5'11", and a 70-inch reach. Carlos Leal minus 400 as the favorite, 22-6. He is 3-2 in his last 5 as well. 31 and 5'11". This is an interesting fight. Leal just knocked out Morano, lost to Fakhratinov, and then before that he was in LFA and PFL. Just kind of had mixed results. Salikov, man, his only 2 losses in recent years are to Dalby and Randy Brown in pretty entertaining fights. Randy Brown kind of washed him. Split decision win over Ponzi Scheme, and then knocked out Kenan Song. Man, Muslim Salikov, obviously, first foreigner to win a Wushu Sanda tournament in China. Very fun fighter. Lost the step, at 41. That's to be expected. I think that this fight all comes down to, like, is Muslim Salikov going to have a brawl with Leal? That's what he wants, right? That's where he thrives. I like Lial's shot selection on the inside. He goes to the body. I think that this is going to take place basically entirely on the feet. Muslim Salikov can hit you with that spinny shit once in a while. I almost want to pick him to win, but I just, again, his 3-fight, Kenan Song, terrible. Ponzi scheme, another old wash dude he went to split decision with. Fialho was a fun fighter, and then we kind of realized quickly that he kind of sucks. Dalby is a very tough opponent. Lost to him. And then Randy Brown obviously was a little bit more of a prospect at the time that they fought a year and a half ago. I think we've kind of seen the limit of Randy Brown. Salikov still has it as at his age. Yeah, I think he's still a decent opponent. I don't have high hopes for him in this fight. I am going to pick Carlos Leal to beat him. I'm going to pick him by decision. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he KOs him. I just don't think that, like, because when he fought Randy Brown, like, Randy Brown is obviously a giant welterweight. Carlos Leal, not that big of a welterweight, right? Let me actually see again really quick. They're both 5'11". I think that, I just, I've been kind of fading Salikov for a minute, and I've paid for it in the past. I do like this fight, though. I think it's going to be a very fun fight. It's going to be like the kicks of Salikov versus the punches of Leal. And can Leal keep the fight at boxing range, right? The next fight is another... Dude, this card is like pretty damn good, right? The next fight is fucking Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. Bryce Mitchell making his debut in the bantamweight division. And it's a pick'em. It's damn near a pick'em. Nurmagomedov is slight favorite. 17-3 is the record for Mitchell, and 18-4 is the record for Said Nurmagomedov. 33 is the age for Magomedov. 30 years old for Mitchell. Mitchell's going to be a little bit bigger here, 5'10", 5'8", for Nurmagomedov. No relation. Let's take a look at Nurmagomedov's last 5 fights, shall we? Lost the decision to V. Oliveira. Muin Gaffarov got a sub over. Jonathan Martinez he lost to. Said Yakub Kakramanov was a very fun fight. Sick grappling exchanges in that one. And then before that, Douglas Silva de Andrade, he beat via decision. Those are his last 5 fights in 3 years. If we look at Bryce Mitchell, he lost to John Silva by sub. Kron Gracie, he knocked out. Emmett, he lost via vicious, nasty KO. I'm surprised he ever woke up from it. Beat Ige by decision and then lost to Topuria via submission. I think that this is a very similar fight to the Kron Gracie fight, right? But Said Nurmagomedov definitely has good kicks on the feet. I think this is a pretty easy win for Bryce Mitchell, even though the fight is so close on the odds. Said Nurmagomedov doesn't have power like Josh Emmett or Ilia Topuria, who hurt him before getting a submission. And also, I think that John Silva, like I've been saying ever since I saw him fight, like he's going to fight for a world title. So, I mean, you do have to give Bryce Mitchell credit for really just losing to the top of the featherweight division, right? Said Nurmagomedov is definitely going to put a pace on him that he hasn't seen as much of in the featherweight division. I have respect for Said Nurmagomedov, but, let's be honest, like he's just not that good at the top of the division. And again, you could say the same thing about Said, right? Like in his last couple losses, he lost to V. Oliveira. Jonathan Martinez is interesting. I think that he just had an overwhelming advantage on the feet. I think this will be a close fight, though. Bryce Mitchell could pull off a sub at some point in this fight. I don't see Said subbing Mitchell. I think this is a pretty easy win for Bryce Mitchell. I'm actually surprised that he's plus 100. If your name is Muslim, are you resigned to being a Muslim? I think that's a precursor. Drop the stream yards. Good to see you, No Chill. I don't know what you mean. Also, without a beard, you look like the uncle from Full House. Wow. God damn it. I can't catch a break. I always look like this guy or that guy no matter what I do, huh? Okay, let's keep it going. Nikita Krylov is taking on Bogdan Guskov at light heavyweight. Nikita Krylov 30-10. He is 2-5, 2-3, 3-2 in his last 5. Was on a 3-fight winning streak. Had a decent layoff and then got knocked out by Dominic Cruz. Minus 190 as the slight favorite. He is 33 years old, 6'3", 77.5-inch reach. Bogdan Guskov 17-3. 4 out of his last 5 fights he has won. He is plus 165 as the underdog. 32, 6'3", 76-inch reach. I honestly don't know why Guskov is the dog. Am I tripping? Nikita Krylov beating Spann, Ozdemir, and Gustafsson. Last loss before that was Paul Craig. Guskov on a 3-fight winning streak to Elikana, Spann, and Pauga. Lost to Ozdemir via rear naked choke, and that was his first fight in the promotion. I guess that makes a little more sense. I think, man, like Bogdan Guskov, I think that the reason why he is the underdog in this fight is because he did look a little bit vulnerable in that first round against Elikana, who kind of came out pressuring Guskov and gave him some issues in the first round. He did ultimately get a submission win. Nikita Krylov is an interesting one because people were very high on him heading into the Dominic Reyes fight. I think I might have even picked him to beat Reyes. He got flattened really quick. I think that Guskov has the power to do that to him. I also feel like he's got enough on the ground to hang with Krylov. I think this is a good fight. I don't really know who to pick. I'm just surprised that the odds are this close. Man, I'm actually going to go Guskov here. He's got a lot of power. I do feel like possibly he is a glass cannon though, right? And also like his last 3 wins in the promotion are not against great dudes. Spann is good in my opinion, but I think that Nikita Krylov is a little more calculated than Ryan Spann. I'm gonna pick Guskov by decision. But honestly, I think that Nikita Krylov could fraud check Guskov, right? Stop ducking Milson. I asked him what time the debate was. Krylov coming back too quick after a KO. Ooh, that is a great point. You make Anakin. Yeah, only 2 months. Ooh. Interesting. That kind of sways my opinion a little. I actually think that Guskov could now that you remind me of that, I think he could knock him out pretty quick. I do feel like if he doesn't though, then Krylov could win after the second round. Yeah, I literally asked him what time the debate was, so I'm just waiting to hear back. Not ducking anybody, but it is good to see you. I think you should just leave the soul patch next time you shave. Well, I'm glad you have an opinion on what I should do with my facial hair, but I'll not be taking any input from any man. Woman I would consider, but thank you. Next fight is Asu Amabayev versus Jose Ochoa. Asu Amabayev 21-3. He has won 4 out of his last 5 fights. This is another close to a pick'em on the odds. He is 31 years old, 5'4", 65-inch reach from Kazakhstan. Jose Ochoa 8-1, 3-2 in his last 5. What the hell's going on here? This is an illegal knee. Interesting. He's from Peru, 24 years old, 5'7", and a 67-inch reach, fighting out of Shuto box. Jose Ochoa, let me see. Oh, yeah, that's right. This is the guy that knocked out Durden a month ago and lost to Loner Kavanaugh. Man, Asu Amabayev got eye poked and then subsequently knocked out by Manel Kape. I remember I didn't really watch that fight. Amabayev is damn good. He's damn good. Obviously has a deficiency on the feet, especially if he's going to take on a guy like Kape. I think that a lot of people don't really like him because, I mean, he subbed Ode Osborne and then since then just went on a decision streak His best win is Mateus Nicolau. I think Jose Ochoa is very dangerous. And I think he showed me so much in the Cody Durden fight. It was not very competitive against Cody Durden. I think that the odds are pretty fair, right? Damn near a pick 'em. It's a tough one, man. I kind of want to pick Almabayev, but I think that people are sleeping on Jose Ochoa. Looks like a really fun prospect in this division. And I think that the UFC doesn't really like Almabayev just because of his style of fight, right? So yeah, man, I think shit. This is a tough one. I might have to pick Ochoa, honestly. But I don't know, dude. This is a tough one for me. I'm probably gonna pick Almabayev by decision, but this is a sick ass fight. I think that this could be a really good time for Ochoa to just continue to shine over pretty damn good names in the division. The decision loss to Loner Kavanaugh wasn't like a huge blowout, but he was decisively beat by him. This is a sick ass fight, man. This card is looking really good up to this point. The next fight will be Sharabulit Magomedov fighting Marc-Andre Barriault. This thing place at 185. Sharabulit 15-1. His last loss was a clowning ass whooping he took from MVP. He is minus 500 as the favorite. 31, 6'2", 73-inch reach. Barriault 17-9. 2 out of 3 of his last 5. Or sorry, he's 2-3 in his last 5. He is plus 375 as the underdog. 35 years old, 6'1", 74-inch reach. So yeah, Barriault just fought 2 months ago and got a knockout win. Before that, he took quite a few L's in a row to Chris Curtis, Pfeiffer, and Stoltzfus. Before that, his last win was Eric Anders. Sharabulit, obviously undefeated. Coming off of a big win against Petrosian, heading into that fight with MVP, I was pretty convinced MVP would beat him. It wasn't shocking to me. But this is a style of fight that definitely favors Sharabulit. I think that Barriault is going to be a little bit too sloppy for the very technical and conventionally sound Sharaputin Magomedov. I'm not super high on Sharabulit. I think he does have gas tank issues, but so does Marc-Andre. This should be an easy knockout win by the second round for Sharabulit, and that's what I'm taking in this fight. But I think it'll be fun because Marc-Andre ain't no bitch. He's going to come in there and fight, and I think that's just going to play right into the hands of Sharabulit. We'll have to see if he's a little bit tentative to pull the trigger since getting clowned by MVP, but it's also not like he took a lot of damage in that fight, right? So yeah, I think it's pretty clear Sharabulit will win. The other interesting aspect to this fight, though, is I thought that after Sharabulit lost to MVP, that he said he was going to retire. And obviously, he's fucking blind in one eye. Like, I think that should be stated clearly. Like, the man clearly has, if he's not blind in one eye, he clearly has, depleted vision in one eye. Just take one look at him. You can tell this guy doesn't have 50-50 vision. Also, he's not a great dude. Kind of a piece of shit outside of the ring. So we'll have to see. I did hear that at the Etihad Arena, like they repainted it. And some of the fighters in a certain corner had gotten like sick off of some of the fumes, like from the fresh paint. Not sure exactly how true that is. So again, to me, this is an easy fight to pick. Knockout for Sharabulit in the second round. Petr Yan is taking on Marcus McGee. This is an interesting fight, I guess. Strange matchmaking. Petr Yan has won 2 of his last 5 fights, minus 370 as the favorite, 32, 5'7", 67-inch reach. Marcus McGee, undefeated in his last 5. I remember he came in on short notice to fight Journey Newsom, who I thought was actually a pretty decent fighter at the time. Marcus McGee kind of cooked him. Got the sub, knocked out JP Buys, knocked out Gaston Bolaños, and then last got a decision win over Jonathan Martinez in a fight in which he looked very good in. And I think I'm stoked. I like Marcus McGee a lot. I just think that Peter Yan is just way too good. And this fight is kind of weird because it doesn't really do anything for Yan. It's maybe because he's lost to like some of the guys at the top already, that they're just like, all right, dude, you got to take on a prospect. So in that sense, it does make sense. But I mean, seriously, this should be a blowout, right? 30-27, Peter Yan on all cards. I don't really know if he finishes him. If he does, it's probably going to be by sub. But yeah, Peter Yan is a lock, dude. Like I don't really see the case for Marcus McGee. He does have power. He's a strong opponent. Don't get me wrong. Like he's not a pushover, but I just think against a guy like Peter Yan, who I value very highly, this is not a competitive fight to me. Idaho Shavesman, yeah. Okay, next fight is the main event. Bobby Knuckles taking on RDR Reinier de Ridder. 26-8 is the record for former middleweight champion Robert Knuckles III. He is actually the favorite in this fight. He is 34 years old, 6 foot tall. RDR 20-2 is his record on a 4-fight winning streak. Plus 150 as the dog. 34, man, same age, 6'4", 78-inch reach. So yeah, I mean, de Ridder is going to have a huge reach advantage and a significant height advantage in this fight. This is kind of a striker versus grappler match, but again, I always say every time RDR fights, he has sufficient enough kickboxing to hang. This is a sick ass fight, man. And Robert Whittaker is literally like my favorite fighter in the UFC. So I get extremely nervous every time he fights. I think that his chin has been compromised as of late. To say he's totally washed and like he's got a glass jaw now, I don't think is fair. I just think that he took so much damage in the Yoel Romero fights that it took years off of his life. Obviously, he's been finished by DDP. When he fought Costa, he got rocked. When he fought Darren Till, he got rocked. When he fought Ikram Aliskerov, it was a very quick knockout. But he got submitted literally like instantly against Chimaev, right? This is a good fight though, man. I think Whittaker has decent enough grappling defense, but I feel like it is an overwhelming advantage that RDR has over him. The stand-up is going to be interesting. I don't see, like, first of all, we got to say, like, RDR has only been knocked out twice in his career, and those were both the Malikan who just bullied him and was way bigger than him. Knocked him out in the first fight. I think he went up or down and took his title in the other division. And when he got knocked out, he just quit, right? So, like, Robert Whittaker is not going to be able to do that to him, I don't think. You could see him get a flash knockdown and then maybe TKO with that 1-2 high kick combo that he's most known for. But, man, one thing you got to respect about Bobby Knuckles outside of the second Izzy fight is he always comes for a damn good fight. He's not going to back down. Honestly, I think that RDR is a smart pick here. I really, really do. And that's coming from somebody who, again, Robert Whittaker is my favorite fighter. But you know what I'm saying? With that being said, and with RDR being the dog, the route I always go when my favorite fighter fights is pick him on Tapology to save face. So when he does win, I can go, told you guys he was going to win. And then when he loses, I go, told you guys to bet RDR. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, my favorite fighter lost, but I made some money. So that is always the strategy I go with. I'm going to pick Robert Whittaker by decision. I think it's going to be a super close fight. It all depends on how he can handle the ground exchanges by RDR, who is just got a way bigger frame than him. I gotta I got to go with my boy Bobby Nux. So those will be my picks for this card. I have a Topology League. Make sure you're in it. It's in my channel description. Make sure you put in your picks, and we'll see you guys for that on the night of the event. Skate is going with the man who stole his girl over the Statesman. The Statesman? Like the guy from the US? RDR on a UFC title run if he wins. Yeah, totally. He's going to go for that sub, something Robert hasn't had to deal with other than Chimaev. Yeah. Yeah, but it's also like Hamzat in the first round. Like, that's what you got to deal with when you fight Hamzat, right? I'm torn on this one. If he keeps it on the feet, he wins 100%. But RDR is nasty when he can take your back. Yeah, totally. Bobby has that middleweight title and the tough trophy. Could be enough to beat the man who only loses to the triple champ. Marcus McGee has a fat wife. Really? I typed in fat wife. You know what? He does, but you know what? She's got a cute face, man. Let's check this out. Let's investigate a little more. Upon closer inspection, not really. But you know what? I'm happy for my mans. You know what I'm saying? She looks like Honey Boo Boo's mom. I don't know about that. Let me see. Whatever happened to Honey Boo Boo? Honey Boo Boo. Oh my gosh. Ugh. She doesn't look too dissimilar from Honey Boo Boo's mom. I'm seeing some mixed results here. I'm getting pictures of Honey Boo Boo in 2025 that makes it look like she's slimmed down, and also ones that make it look like she's still pretty fat. I don't think anyone has asked what happened to her. I just did. Anyway, guys, apparently I'm getting into a flat Earth debate a little later. I'm waiting for the link to that. That'll be on EBT MMA, I think. Let's see if we have an update over that. Yep. Paradox does not enjoy my streams very much. Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be like I said at the beginning of the stream. Like, I want to make it more into a preview show than like, here's me making picks. But yeah, man, like I'm getting to this point where I'm like, dude, like I want to do something a little different with MMA YouTube. Like, I'll keep making picks. I'll be coming out with a picks video. I'll try to release it in the morning. I just want to do something different. Like, I feel like everybody's making picks, you know? It's like, I don't know. It's kind of lame. I feel like everybody's doing the same shit, and I want to do something a little bit different. That's why I'm trying to do like the matchmaking show, make shit fun. MMA trivia. Some people think MMA trivia is lame, but you know, like I want to get more people to do MMA nerd. I'd love to bring it back. Yeah. So if you guys have any ideas for like videos or streams that we should do, send them your way. Send them your boy's way. Bilal signed for a fight, and it's probably going to be against Gary in Chicago. I like that fight. I know everybody hates both of those fighters, but I like that fight. Which side am I on? I am on the side that is rational and believes that the Earth is a globe. I'm a globe-tard. I got sent that Ian Gary said yes to fighting both Sean Brady and Bilal when offered to him. That's what's up. Yeah, no, I like Ian Gary inside the ring or in the cage, and I like Bilal. I think Bilal probably loses both. He probably loses to Gary. I think Gary versus Brady is probably the fight to make, though. But either way, Brady. Yeah, matchmaking for the welterweight division is interesting. Yeah, again, I like to do different kind of stuff. Thank the Lord. Yeah. Right? No, I did a show yesterday and found out that some of my audience is flat earthers. And then I was like, Well, this is the MMA community. I guess that's not shocking. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. I guess stay on the lookout for that. If you guys want to watch it, I'll link it in my Discord. SS Jackson, are you in my Discord? Do you even have Discord? Is that something you're... I'll send it to you if you're interested in it. I'll send you on on the gram. But yeah, dude, listen, like, I'm not really like a debate guy, so like I'm not gonna be... It's not gonna be me like just crapping all over Mailson, and that's probably what he wants. So yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of knowledge about flat Earth, and I have more knowledge about flat Earth than I do like telling you all the science behind why the Earth is round, because there's not a lot of science that goes into flat Earth. It's like pretty basic shit. I'm probably picking Gary, but Bilal could take advantage of how Ian resigns to fighting with his back very close to the cage. Bilal could have many opportunities to press him and stall. I agree with you. The problem is that Ian Gary makes you fight at his pace. You know? But yeah. Again, I'll put up a community post for a live chat later this week. I think I want to do live chats weekly. That's just kind of something I'm like, okay, what else can we do other than pick streams? I know people hate pick streams. But yeah, I want to do some different content. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Other than that, I mean, we'll be doing the basic thing around here. During the live chat, I'll tell you guys about my live streaming schedule. And yeah, I hope that you that's basically going to be the end of the show. I hope that you guys have a great week. Hope your work week's great. Make it to the weekend, man, so we can watch some fights. UFC and MMA is supposed to be fun. There's some kickboxing cards this week. But yeah, I'm going to tell you guys everything I'll be doing in the live chat tomorrow, and then I'll try to get the schedule up earlier. So yeah, you too. Hey, thank you, Aaron Tats. Appreciate you, man. All you need is just to present the very easily Googleable and verifiable facts pertaining to the math and techniques used to conclude the Earth is round. Flurfs are stupid. The problem is you can't really just do that because they say it's all fake and science is fake. And it's all a big government plot, like big globe to keep the man down, which, again, I already told this person, I'm like, hey, listen, like, I have a conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is that I don't believe any conspiracy theory, but I think that every conspiracy theory is believable. And that if it were proven that reptiles actually own a secret base on the moon and project this false, like, reality that we live in, I'd be like, oh, sick. Cool. You know, like, I don't think that the Earth being round or flat really affects me in everyday life. You know, whether it's flat or round, I'm just going to keep living my life. Oh, shit. Reptilians are our overlords. Like, cool. I'm going to watch the UFC this Saturday. The StreamYard link is the link to join the show. Yeah, I'm actually about to end it, but I'll go ahead and give you a call here in a little bit. All right, guys, that's the stream. Thank you guys very much for joining. Happy to have people in the chat. Thankful for all your guys' support. And just stay on the lookout for the streams coming up this week. If the Earth was flat, bodies of water won't be able to stay still and wouldn't move to a certain direction. Yeah, I guess we're going to get into it later. So be on the lookout for that. See you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.